How do we do DEI now? Was Claudine Gay, was she the best person for that leadership role at Harvard? And when, I mean, I saw guys like Jason Furman die on this hill. That's the hill he's going to die on, that we're not going to outsource getting rid of this. But was she the right person from the very beginning?
Look, I don't know because I wasn't there making those decisions. But I think that people have to ask themselves, are we doing enough rigorous selection for these positions? Obviously, these positions, like I said, $14 billion of annual revenue. You need somebody that has deep management experience and the like.
Why do we care, though? It's a private university.
But
let them wither on the vine, and if this damages their reputation.
That's private companies. Okay, we still care a lot about what private companies do in our society. They're subject to lots of checks. They may not be subject to the public shareholder checks, but they're certainly subject to regulation and the like. If you're a private company in the oil and gas industry, you're subject to all sorts of regulation.
But Harvard moved on this because they saw job placement for their graduates drop significantly. They saw the number of people wanting to get into the school drop significantly this year, and they saw donations down. So
yeah, finally some checks from the outside on what's going on. But look at the place that universities hold in our society. What are parents willing to do to get children a ticket to these exclusive universities? They're willing to do. That tells you how valuable they are. And look, we've all benefited from what universities have produced. The fact that people take what they learn at universities out into the world, and we are the leaders in the world in so many industries, that has its roots in our universities, without a doubt. Now, we can't lose that. And if it takes a little bit of a kick from the government or a little bit of kick from the private sector to get that kind of accountability and introspection, so be it.
There's been some damage. There's no doubt. I was thinking about it. So I have all these sweatshirts from my daughter who went, and I wear them now. And people, it causes conversation. You came in today. I was going to talk to you about Bitcoin. I said you're an adjunct professor at University of Pennsylvania, and here we are. 10 minutes later, that's all we've talked about. It's not good.
We should keep talking about it, though. We can't.
What happens with Bitcoin? Is the SEC going to sign off on a Bitcoin ETF, you think?
I think approval's inevitable.
Imminently?
And I think there's nothing left to decide.
I know.
And I credit the SEC for where they are. Where are we? We're comfortable with the disclosure. Joe just went through the cost of investing in a Bitcoin ETF. People need to know what the cost of doing it is. They need to know, about the underlying Bitcoin market. Is the Bitcoin underlying trading market something that is what I would say is robust enough, efficacious enough, where you can rely on it? It is much better today than it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, there was wash sales, there was laddering, there was all sorts of things that you wouldn't want to make available to the general public because of that risk. And the last thing, and I think this is missed, is the technology to actually provide the product, the custodying, the create, the redeem. This is a big step, not just for Bitcoin, but for finance generally. If you can digitize, tokenize underlying assets and trade that way, that's a potential significant change across finance, not just in the crypto space.
But you think Bitcoin ETF approval is coming and imminent?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I could be wrong, but that's what I think.
Okay. Your opinion matters, former SEC chairman.
I don't like what's happened. And then when you abuse DEI, then you set back the movement, and we still know where we need to be. S&P CEOs, board members, and people of color that represent. We've got miles to go, but this casts a pall the way that it was administered. We can't ignore that we need to have a lot more work to do.
Well, I think that's where you have to start, Joe. We have miles to go. But let me recognize we have miles to go. We still have problems. Anybody who says that they don't see bias in society doesn't have their eyes open.
Old boy network and all that stuff.
Absolutely. I've seen it in every organization I've been. Now, lesser and more people making improvements. But let me give the American people some credit here. If you travel the world, there's no country that is trying to assimilate, respect, provide for more different cultures, religions, and the like in the United States.